Hello everyone, welcome to the lab today. If you pay attention to the channel a few days ago, you'll see I made a video about teaching everyone how to like how the Dragoon engine works now, with which you either play Anaconda with just the very minimum cards, or you play a bigger engine with Red Eyes Insight searching Red Eyes Fusion, that route. So today I'm gonna do a very like quick profile. It's more like a sample list for what I was trying the past couple days. It was Eldlich, but Dragoon. So without further ado, I guess let's start. It's essentially just an Eldlich deck. You'll see the basic Eldlich cards, the Golden Lord, Outland, White, Scarlet, Conquest, Harquero, and the Guardian. So this deck actually, like my version, the sample list plays a slightly higher amount of Eldritch cards. Because it's a Dragoon deck, so Black Awakening is kind of conflict with Red Eyes Fusion. Therefore, that card is not really playable here. So I putting a Y just to have another different elixir to grab from the golden lens. Two lords is enough because you usually not able, like turn one, usually not able to summon your lord. Uh, Therefore, you don't really want to see it that often. You rather see your spell and traps. So, max out these because these are just the best. Like you need it. A lot of people asking, like I played that on remote do on stream yesterday. A lot of people asking why there's a like vanilla trap golden land, right? This like Guardian essentially it summons out and turn a monster into zero permanently. Um, the reason I played this because now since Dragoon is in the format, since Dragoon cannot be targeted or be destroyed by card effects. So if I don't play this, these two doesn't really do anything to Dragoon. And Lord, once the Dragoon has negated once, the Dragoon is 4K instead of 3K. Lord coming back will still not able to beat it. If you try to get like double Lord into Gustav into Juggernaut, that's a lot required. But having a Guardian, you like essentially made the engine itself having an L2 Dragoon. You just make the Dragoon zero, then beat over it by any possible ways. Because this is a non-targeting, permanent attack modifier, like 2-0. And it's searchable within the engine. That's why I think it's like good to have one. I mean, majority of the time you can just think it's another like searchable that I can just send it for Lord or whatever. Like I do play Foolish Goods, you will see it later, and it still functions with like same as the other ones where it can get you an elixir at the end phase. So worst case, if you are sure your opponent is not playing Dragoon, or you can prevent the Dragoon being summoned, you can just like send this card by your Golden Land or L Land, or just pitch it with the cost for Golden Lord, and it will be the same. So yeah, this is the Golden Lore engine. Next is the Red Eyes engine. Obviously the Red Eyes and Dark Magician, the Garnets. Hate to see them, but you have to play it. The additional package, Wyvern, Red Eyes Insight, Red Eyes Fusion, Magical Eyes Fusion, and Red Eyes Spirit. So these are essentially a small Red Eyes package. If you watched the video a couple days ago, you will know what they do. Um, Insight will mill a Wyvern from the deck to graveyard and search either Fusion or Spirit. The reason you want to, like in this deck, you want to summon Dragoon this way is because if you go into Anaconda, it loses to a lot of things like Vader, Chill, uh, Gamma. It loses to almost all of them. Like sometimes you can even get Nibiru on the summon of Anaconda if you are playing a more combo heavy deck. But for if you straight go into Insight into Red Eyes Fusion, the only thing you're losing to is Ash. And it's like Ash is just, first of all, it's not really strong by itself, so not everyone's even playing it. Second, there's so many things that you can just bait out Ash. Like you can activate an extra before it, and your opponent probably better Ash shift, now you just draw 2 for free, right? So Ash is so this engine bypass a lot of interruption, a lot of hand traps in general in the format. So yeah, that's why it's for like like pure Eldlich or more like a stone Eldlich kind of variants. It's you naturally not gonna able to turbo out your Anaconda turn 1. Therefore, it's instead might as well just grab like Insight or Fusion straight into Dragoon that bypass everything, even bypass Cherries. Yeah. Um, and by like turn 2, imagine you did that turn 1, you summon a Dragoon with just raw drawing the Red Eyes Fusion. Then turn 2, you can use your Golden Lure, your trap monster, into an Anaconda and send a Magical Eyes Fusion. This is essentially a Dragon Mirror before Spellcaster. So once you resolve Red Eyes Fusion turn 1, these two will be in the graveyard. And the next turn, you can just make an Anaconda with your trap monster and Magical Light Fusion, so some of your second Dragoon. Now your board is like double Dragoon with potential whatever Eldlich cards in the back. So that board, at that point, it's pretty much just your opponent can out it. Spirit is another card, another target you can search of Insight. It's essentially just a monster reborn for Red Eyes monster. That's it. There's literally not a single line on this card. However, in case where you open like fusion plus insight in your opening and your fusion has already resolved, at this point there's no more like Red Eyes or Dark Magician in your deck. So insight grabbing a second fusion really just doesn't do anything. But however, if you have spirit left, you can just insight into the spirit. So now you have 2 revivals for a Dragoon. If that Dragoon get out by whatever thing that happened, Droplet, Kaiju, Beat Over, or something else. Wyvern is also just a good target to send with insight because in a turn where you did a normal summon at that end phase, you can Wyvern back a red ass monster in the graveyard, which usually just gonna be Dragoon. So yeah, this is the Red Eyes package. So next, see this in like this portion of the deck, both the Eldlich engine and the Red Eyes engine, cause so many spots already. Therefore, there's not enough spaces to play like hand traps, and I decided to just go no hand traps and play what people hated the most, I guess. Yeah, right. See, going first, obviously resolving Red Eyes Fusion is good, but going second, like even though Ash is the only hand trap that can negate Red Eyes Fusion, but there's a lot of interruptions that's possible in the format, which can stop your Red Eyes Fusion or just a way to summon your Dragoon. Therefore, going second, I just missed the mind them. You either use your Red Eyes cards or Golden Lord cards to bait out the negates, activate mine, and burn like get some time, get some turns, worst case. Or you start with Mr. Mind, try to bait out the negate, then activate Red Eyes Fusion and summon your Dragoon, clear the board. So yeah, it's like either way, it's just a good strategy. The downside is probably losing a little bit more to like Infernoble because they get to see your hand and rip whatever they have. But that's probably the only matchup that's slightly bad compared to like for not running any hand traps. Ultimately, this is just a sample build, so you can do whatever you want. You can just replay these cards. You can just replay these cards for like hand traps you want. It's a decision. Then the rest are just some glue cards. Extra, Foolish Very Goods, Call By, and Skill Drain. It's an Eldlich deck. There's really no side effect for running extra. Like, I think the calculation told me if you start with extra, the chance of banishing all your Dragoon is about 4.4%. So out of 100 games, you will have like 4 to 5 games when that happens. Um, it sucks if it does happen, but majority of the time you prefer to use your pop first to bait out your opponent's Ash than you Red Eyes Fusion for it. And if you got Maximus already, and then you pop for 6, I think there's a 7% chance all 3 Dragoon will be gone. So it's still like acceptable, not gonna lie. I mean, worst case, you can just save it and use it as like a cost for Dragoon or cost for Golden Lord. Call by is necessary because like your turn 1, your combo, like your activate Red Eyes Fusion, that combo only losing to Ash, and this is just a good answer to Ash. I mean, this card in general is a good thing to have anyway. Foolish Goods, because it's not like the deck running like Magician's Souls or anything. If you start with all the Golden Lord, all the Golden Land Trap monsters, or all the elixirs, you'll be stuck into not having a pair of those. So now these are actually interruption. But Foolish Goods can turn to just grab what you need based on what you're missing. And Skodrin, like Skodrin is just the best. Like it's sort of a pure Eldlich deck. So Skodrin is always good. It's only, let me see. I think it's total 40 card in the main, and the chance of you raw drawing Red Eyes Fusion or Insight, I think it's about like 50 to 60%, but that's not counting the chance you drawing extra into it. So you should be able to see your Red Eyes Fusion like majority of the time, probably around like 70, 80%. I didn't really do the specific math on it. If anyone is interested, you can do it, but that's a little bit too complicated. Um, yeah, that's the main deck. It's just an example build, so you can really change whatever you want. So let me get to the extra deck. Well, I'm still missing some cards because I only got 1 case of Megating. I only got 2 Dragoons. So there, and I'm missing some card that's very hard to find. So you'll see some proxies. First of all, because I play extra 3 Dragoon, obviously. Um, I mean, I didn't get the third one yet. You only really gonna summon 2, because one's from Red Eyes Fusion, one's from Magical Eyes Fusion. That's it. So if you extract one of these away, it really didn't even matter. I play another Red Eyes Fusion target, which is, let me see, Meteor Black Comet Dragon. If the chat can really see it, this one. Yeah. So it's a fat saying if this card is fusion summoned, you get to mill a red eyes monster from your deck to graveyard and uh burn half of its attack. So it's good in time. The requirement is red eyes monster. Let me see. Level 7 red eyes monster plus a level 6 dragon monster. So in my side, I will have a level 6 dragon monster. So turn 1, if I rip if I'm going to time, because it's a grind deck, I most likely will in real tournaments, I'll just red eye like in time, less than a minute left on the clock, red eyes fusion, send the red eyes black dragon, send this level 6 dragon, summon this meteor black, and mill the wyvern to burn 900 for in time. Yeah, so that was I mean, majority of the time it's getting extra. So then there's level 6 dragon that's existing in my side. It's called Selinclair the Luminous Lunar Dragon. It's a new Ultra from Rise of Duelists. Um, has a weird effect. Says you can normal summon or set this card without tributing, but then its original tap become 15. It's original level 6, but you can just straight summon it. During either player's main phase, it's a quick effect. You can target a monster your opponent controls with attack less or equal than this card. Return this card back to your hand and take control of the opponent monster until the end phase. Card once per turn. So essentially, if you straight normal summon it, you can bounce this and take control whatever that's 15 or less when you go second. And then there's one existing in the format where everyone's summoning is Arclight. So you can just go normal summon if I target the Arclight, force the Arclight out. and do some fun thing with that. It's like it become another bait for it to like resolve your Mr. Mind or something. The downside is it requires normal summon, so for situations like those, you will not be able to realize fusion afterward because you normal summoned. But that just like you can maybe realize fusion first, bait out negate. Since it doesn't matter either Savage or Arclight, they both negate the activation. After that, you should be able to normal summon. So you can go normal summon the bait out the Arclight afterwards. Because your opponent probably want to keep the Arclight just to make sure your Golden Lord is not doing anything. But once you bait out the Arclight, then the board is easier to out. Since Buster Lock really doesn't. Buster Lock only like stop the red eye part, doesn't stop the Golden Lord part. So that yeah, that's the level 6 dragon I choose. I'll just put it here. So continue the extra deck. Uh, there's 2 Anaconda. This is essentially your turn 3 play after you already resolve Red Eyes Fusion turn 1. Uh, I saw someone in the like people in the chat saying, "Isn't Anaconda require if that monster, so you cannot use your Golden Land Trap monster to make it, right?" That's true. Though therefore there's couple Link monster in the extra deck, so you turn your Trap monster into these Link ones and turn these Link ones into the Anaconda. I also didn't find Imduk, uh, so I drew one, and yeah, so that's another proxy. um, see, there's 2 Link Spider to Imduk. Imduk has a fat where it's a catastrophe for whatever it points to. So essentially, if your opponent summon a monster in like the zone 2 and zone 4, you can just turn your trap monster into a catastrophe phase something. Um, and but since Imduk is only pointing up, when you have like 2 trap monster, you won't be able to make double Imduk unless your opponent give you its own. Therefore, Link Spider is also necessary. So imagine turn 1, your starting is like Dragoon, no elixir, so you only have maybe like Conquest and Haquero. Then turn 3, you can just go, or summon both. Link the first one into Spider, link the second one into Imduk, then link the both into Anaconda. Then Anaconda send Magical Light Fusion for the second Dragoon. That's a possible play. Yeah, overall, if it's not for the reason I need to link summon, I would just only play Imduk, because Imduk is just infinitely better. It's 200 attack less, but has an effect that actually maybe destroy something. Then, because it's a Golden Lord deck, a BLS. I mean, yeah, it's a BLS. It's good. That's another Dragoon, essentially. Like, Yugi played both Dark Magician and Black Luster Soldier, so of course we had these, right? And the Golden Lord Xyz monster, play these, Libe and Gustav. Um, Self-explanatory. If you play a Golden Lord, if you play Eldlich ever, you will like more a pure version ever. You will play these cards. You will play these cards. Like these are essentially just cards good to have, but it's fine if they get banished by extra. So yeah, this is the whole extra deck, 15 cards. Side, I didn't really build it. I just know this better be here because it's a level 6 target for this for the Meteor Black to burn in time. Everything else is probably no idea, to be honest. I wasn't planning to bring this into a tournament. If I do, this card is from like Invasion Vengeance. Surprising, cost $30 as an ultra. So, so I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. Let me answer some question in the chat. Let me see. Usually I don't do a profile with our results. Like I usually only do a profile like after a big tournament, so I have like data supporting it. This one is it's more like it's not really a profile in my opinion. It's more like an example deck that I've talked about a theory a couple days ago. So I'm making like a sample list for everyone to see it with the theory. Let me see. Isn't Verti Anaconda required 2 if I'm monster? Yes, that's why there's like a crazy amount of Link wands, so you can turn those trap monster into an if I'm monster, then go into Anaconda. Let me see. What about replace mines and metaverse with like other hand traps or upstart Well, you can't really play Upstart with Extrav. Those two kind of conflict. You also can play Desire because the Red Eyes engines. Hand traps, that's just another personal preference. I don't think for this deck, this kind of deck where the engines already together taking about 30 to 32 spots, and if I play hand trap, I won't be able to get to like 12. And I think 12, 10 to 12 is a good number to reliably join multiple of them going second. Because if you only join one hand trap, usually it's not enough to stop. Even the hand trap is like a gamma. That's not guaranteed stopping. So yeah, that's why I was like, I would prefer to just draw the Mr. Minds. Also, the other thing is like, in order for Dragoon to negate, it requires you to discard one. Where if you have hand trap with Dragoon, you can possibly in a very weird situation where either your Dragoon won't be able to negate because you don't have that many things in your hand, or Dragoon has to pitch a hand trap to negate, which just kind of defeating the purpose of running a hand trap, in my opinion. So if you have like a dead Mr. Mine in your hand, or it's not really dead, it's just a Mr. Mine hasn't been used, you can always pitch it because you are expecting the Dragoon to stays anyway. And same thing for like all the Golden Lord cards, because pretty much all of them are a good discard fodder for Dragoon. That's why I was like, hand trap is just not really looking well or functioning well with the other cards in the deck. Mm, no, the main deck is 40 cards because with 40 cards and 3 extra, I'm having the highest chance drawing into my red eyes, either inside or fusion. Hmm. Let me see. The paying 2K for Anaconda is usually not a big issue. It's mainly because Anaconda is very easy to get stopped. Like, there's a lot of things that can touch it. And yeah, so if you come late, you will probably see this video being uploaded to my YouTube channel sometime during the weekend. Yeah, probably sometime during the weekend. And um, yeah, so I will. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down in the comment section. If you have, if you are interested in this kind of content, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I guess that's it. So this is just the sample list for whatever theory I posted a few days ago. And I will see everyone in the lab in the future. See ya.